What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm going to go over the trades that we took today inside the Discord, as well as the game plan going into tomorrow. So this is what we looked like off of open. So right off of open, on these contracts, we were all the way down here at the 10 SMA. On the call side, the 10 SMA is below the 50 SMA, so that means we are neutral. And then obviously if we flip to the puts are neutral as well. So market's neutral because neither side's crossed, and that I'm just referring to the market down in here. Then eventually this did cross right here, but this 50 SMA is still sloped down, so there's no trend in the market at the moment. As you guys know, went over this yesterday, but if we just pulled up the higher time frame trend on these contracts, look at this daily chart. Told you guys, this chart right here is super bullish. I can't really be bearish until we do break below this 50 SMA. You guys can see it's the same thing as normal cross. 10 went above the 50. We got to pull back to the 50, which is the major support. We started to bounce off of it the last like 2-3 days, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if this continued higher, just because of this higher time frame chart. And how you could have played today, pretty simple. There was one good opportunity. I mean, you could have just played this cross here on the 0DT chart, which gave a solid move. I personally didn't take this because if you pulled up these Friday contracts, we actually were at the 50 SMA on the 30 minutes. So if we go to the 30 minute again at whatever time that was, like 10:30, yeah, so we were nearing this 50 SMA up in here. And again, the higher time frames did align to going higher, but I sat out of this one. I mean, that's completely fine. If you took it, you got paid. I just sat out. There was no need for me to take that, just because I know we're neutral, and it's just not a high probability trade for me that I just didn't want to take. So that was the only opportunity that I know some people did take it, some people didn't. I was one that didn't. I didn't feel like risking that trade. But honestly, you probably could have gotten a low risk entry on this dip to the 10 SMA right here. I mean, these two dips right here, you honestly could have bought right there, keep a tight stop, and you would have been paid. So yeah, we got a little move. I'm not sure how many points this was on NQ, but then again, we come down to the 50 SMA. And you guys know, since we're neutral, you don't buy this dip to the 50. That 30-minute chart on the Friday contracts has to be crossed, in this case on the call side, because this is the call chart. So if we're bullish on the 30-minute on the calls, then you could buy this 50 dip. But since we're not, you wait for the reclaim of the 10. We got the reclaim of the 10 on this candle, but I didn't really necessarily like the look of this 10 SMA. This 10 SMA was still sloped down really hard. If you waited for it to curl, which would have happened right here on this candle, that's when you would have entered, or one of these two candles you would have entered on. And look at the entry there. I mean, it barely went any lower. You would have entered on one of these two candles. I forget which one where the 50 or the 10 SMA actually curled up hard, but would have been one of those two. And look at this move. I mean, that's a very clean chart. That was probably the best trade of the day right there. You could have maybe taken this, but not the best looking trade. But then once we started to come over here, I mean, I think we were already breaking above that 30-minute 50, so you could have taken this reclaim. That worked out. That netted a nice move. And then obviously after this move, I wouldn't be taking anything. I mean, this is a really good move for a neutral market. So at that point, pack it up, move on to the next day. And there's no need to stick around for the chart because we're still neutral at the moment. So that's how you'd play today. It's fairly simple, man. It's the same trades every single day. We're playing crosses, we're playing reclaims, and that's pretty much it. It's not really hard to trade this strategy. You just have to know what you're looking for every day. Like today, we knew we were neutral, so pretty much call cross on either side of the premium. I favored a call cross. I think I said it in yesterday's video, but we had that daily 50 SMA just went over on the higher time frame chart, and we got the call across today. This ended up working out for some points. Then reclaim worked out. This would have been the obviously bigger move for the day, but that's how you'd have played today. Really simple game plan for tomorrow. We pull up the 30-minute chart on these contracts. You can see we are breaking above this, or we already broke with the 50 SMA and the 10 SMA here, and we're beginning to cross, but we have to wait for this 50 SMA here to start curling up and leveling out for us to be considered bullish. If we look at the higher time frames, they don't look too bad. We broke above the 1 hour 50. The 2 hour is very bullish. You can see we broke above it. It's beginning to cross right there. 4 hours really bullish. I mean, we bounce off of this 50 SMA. We get back above the 10. That would look really good. And then again, the daily chart is pretty bullish as well because we're crossed, bounce out the 50, Now, pretty much, we like for us to know that this is gonna go higher, we just have to wait for this 30-minute chart to get across. So once this 50 curls up and flattens out, when we're bullish, that's when I'd expect us to go higher, and then we'd only be focused on the call side. So if that happens tomorrow, we're gonna slam the call cross if we get it, slam a 50 dip if we get it on the 0DT chart. If we drop tomorrow and this chart goes negative, then we're back to neutral, and then most likely a put cross might be on the table that we could take. But those are the trades for tomorrow. We caught some really good trades today on options, so I'm gonna go over the loss first. I think I mentioned this in yesterday's video, but Nvidia I got hammered on this one. This was a bigger loss for me in terms of percentage, because this chart did look really good. Look at this daily chart. I mean, 10's above the 50, bounced off the 50, got back above the 10, and this chart looked really good. It's just taking some time to play out, because this daily candle ended up wicking all the way down here, and gave us some drawdown. So if we pull up the 30-minute now on these contracts, is it this one? No, it's the 18th. If we pull up the contracts for this week, 30-minute chart, you can see I ended up buying somewhere up in this area and then bought at the 50, and I mean, off of open today, this looked really good. I mean, we were up, I don't even know, probably like 20% right off of open. Looked really good at like right here, and then it ended up getting this crazy wick down, and this is where I ended up stopping out at. So closure below the 50 estimates or stop, and obviously I got destroyed in these contracts. I think it was like probably a 50% loss, maybe even 60, probably between that 50 to 60% range. But again, I didn't have the best entry in the world, because we had these two massive candles on the cross, and I think I added some more. I waited for this dip to the 50 to add. So my average was literally, I think, in the 0.90s, so like 0.93, and we closed it under the, so that was like a 50% loss. I mean, definitely a bigger percentage loss, but again, like if you just continue to take these types of trades, you're gonna end up winning more than you're losing. And again, I'm shooting for like 50, usually like 60 to 80% for a trim, and then leave runners for over 100 and see what I can really squeeze out of it. But again, it's just a loss. It's all part of the process. Bigger loss, but we're gonna make up for it, and we did today. I'll go over that in a second. But this chart's crossing again. I mean, I love this Nvidia chart. We're gonna get new contracts tomorrow, because you guys know on Fridays, that's when we pick our new contracts, because the current ones, like this chart, is going to be a 0DT contract tomorrow. So we're actually going to go back to that last chart I just showed you and pull up the 30-minute on this chart. It's actually the same exact chart, wrong one. Oh no, that was the right chart. So yeah, you can see this chart here for next week. So this is what we're probably going to get, and you can see this is actually the 165s. It might be the 170s real quick. Might be the 170s. Let me change this really quickly just to see what this looks like. This might have been the right chart. Yeah, this is the chart that we're going to be using tomorrow, and most likely, unless we get a move overnight. But you can see 30-minute chart, it got back above the 10, the 50, and 50's up, 10's up, looks really nice. Higher time frames also look nice. The 1 hour is not too great, 50's still down. If we pull up to the 2 hour, again, this is crossing right here, looks really nice. 50's up super hard, 10's up hard. 4 hour chart crossed, 50's up, 10's up. Daily chart is this is a weird daily chart. Really nothing to make of this. I mean, it is beginning to cross, but it's not too clean. So I do favor higher on Nvidia tomorrow. I got calls for tomorrow. It's the contracts are going to be moving crazy, because they will be 0DT contracts. I had the 165s for tomorrow, and yeah, I mean, it's pretty much going to be 100 to like 200% trade if it hits. If it doesn't, I'm not exactly sure what the loss will be, but hopefully it could keep it under 50% this time, and hopefully we can get a W out of it, because the chart looks really good, won't lie. And then coin was an absolutely good trade. I mean, this was such a clean setup. If we pull up here the 30-minute, I entered this yesterday, and I mean, it was pretty simple. 10's going above the 50, entered somewhere up in this area. I think I entered on this candle right here sometime during this candle, and yeah, we got the 10 going above the 50 on the 30-minute, and then we flip to the July 18th contracts, and look at this daily chart. I mean, such a clean chart. I mean, like, it doesn't get cleaner than that. We got this 10 going above the 50, dip to the 50 just about, and then we waited for the 30-minute cross to hit. We entered this yesterday, and today we got a massive move higher. I just, this is such a good setup. And these contracts, the ones we had, went 180 to, they probably hit, no, they definitely hit, they hit 200% today. That's where I closed it out at. And I also have some further dated ones for August, but I didn't call those ones out. I just really like this daily chart. I scooped the August one somewhere in this dip on these two candles right here, and then added the shorter expiration once the Friday contracts end up crossing for July 11th. So that's what we did today. Really good trades. Obviously, Nvidia was a bigger loss, but we ended up making up for it big time on Coin, and got back in Nvidia today. So hopefully tomorrow we could get a nice move out of it. And yeah, that'll be that. So that's what we did today. Drop a like, drop a sub if you guys are new. If you guys want to learn, join the Discord down below. All the trades are shared in there. All the knowledge on the systems in there. So that's the place to be if you want to learn. I'm out. Peace.